So I don't think I've ever covered Flecka Talks or any of the videos on his channel. But this one is actually a creator highlight for someone else, so I don't know if it really counts as me covering him. But first one we have here is from Skylily. Said Slime Suris and Timer Coon performing an unholy ritual for Suris coins so they can afford pizza from Slime Hut. That is an unholy ritual. That very much is. Get this man away from me. He has violated my personal space and my free time far too many times. I do not appreciate him, and he is not welcome here. The next one we have here is from Gus G. Buttersnaps. Said, decided to make my first fan art after some shower thoughts. Check it out. I look like Rosa. It's buns and pigtails, but they are made of slime Suris. They are made of slime Suris. You know? You know. I'm actually kind of okay with that. I just realized which Suris cannot put on the mini slimes that the Vade Suris can. And now that I've realized that, I have a sadness. The next one we have, and the last one we have here today is from Evil Dead Guy. Said, smile Suris. Doop. I wonder if you can pet the dog. Good corgi. As always, everyone, thank you all for your fan art submissions. If you want your fan art to be shown in a future video, the best way to do so is to drop it in the fan art section of the Discord. Unless the fan art is NSFW, in which case, it's going to have to go on to Tumblr. You'll have to DM that shit to me directly, and it will go on to the Tumblr at Nekosuris, because, guidelines and shit. Anyways, as always, everyone, if you haven't subscribed already or hit the bell notification icon, please consider doing so. And let's go ahead and get this ball rolling on, well, this.
If your child came to you underage, let's say age 12, and said, I don't feel like this gender, I want to be another, would you be accepting of a gender reassignment surgery?
Absolutely.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy.
Okay, so if your kid said, "Hey, I feel like I'm trans," would you be okay with them getting the surgery? The answer being yes. So let's analyze that for a second. It's probably important to do so. Most people who answer that question, some of them are going to answer based on their kid at their current age, and some of them are going to answer based on their kid at a presumed age. So, like, if your kid came out to you and said they're gay, if your kid's 1 year old, you've got two answers. One, well, my kid's too young for that, or two, yeah, I'd be fine with that. It's impossible to tell if they're talking about future kid or current kid. That's probably important here. Also, Stoff is right. It's been a while since we fed Blizzy. Let's go ahead and feed Blizzy. Blizzy has run out of food. Will you help feed him? Type join, and you'll be able to vie for some Necoins and for Blizzy's love and admonishment. You monsters. Speaking of monsters, Roscoe, thank you for redeeming your points for Ada. Fucking degen. Anyway, let's go. Also, this shirt, white guy walking around with a shirt that says "Blacks for Trump." That's feels a bit stupid.
Boy, Bodittle, and we're here in Louisville.
Sweet Melody, thank you for redeeming your points for an owl. Except no, it's an Ada because of the armistice. Let's go.
Kentucky. Right here behind me is an event put on by Drag Queen Story Hour. We're going to see what's going on at this event. Special shout out to Flecka's Talks and Common Ground Studios for having me in on this video. If you want to watch more of my videos, you can find my channel.
Nope, you're just gonna go ahead and spam your channel. So nope, we're just gonna say instead, I'm gonna do a plug, but it's not a plug for my usual thing. This is where we would usually plug a sponsor, but I think today instead I want to I want to go ahead and plug my my shadow video because I
is fairly.
Shut up, me. Nobody wants to listen to you. Not a single one. I want to go ahead and actually say that, you know, I put a lot of work into this video. Channel Pup did the editing. He did a shit ton of work on that route, and Smacko did a ton of work on the artwork for the video. So maybe go follow all of us, and maybe check out the video on Suris video. What if Shadow stayed dead? There, I've done my plug. Fuck your plug. Mine's better. Mine talks about Sonic. Anyways, let's go. Let's go.
Be interested? Actually, I'd really like to get her. Would you be interested in doing an interview?
I like how he doesn't want to get an interview from the person wearing a top. He wants to get an interview specifically from the person who's not wearing a top, but is just covering her nipples.
We're talking about the LGBT. Sweet. First question is, do you think that Pride is a place for kids?
Yeah, it's not inherently sexual. People like to see it that way, but it's really like, it doesn't have to be something that, you know, everybody's out here having sex and stuff. No, it's about accepting that, like...
I mean, literally, this just looks like a regular day at a fair. I'm just seeing everything here. This just looks like a regular day at a fair to me. Like, aside from a couple people who are just, like, not wearing shirts. But again, I've been to a beach. There is no more shown here than what you would see at the average beach.
Other people like other people, and that's fine.
Do you think that the Pride Festival is a place for children?
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's a safe space.
Do you think that the Pride Festival is a good place to bring children?
Absolutely. I mean, I feel like it's the children's, you know, obviously decision to make, but to let them be free and open and just to see everything, you know, out in the open, I think it's a really good opportunity for them.
How about the way people are dressed? Do you think that that's okay for kids to see? So, for instance, I'm not trying to call you out, but you're dressed in basically nothing. You are not dressed in nothing on.
So, except their pants? Do you not see their pants? I have a question. Do you see their pants?
On top. So, do you think that that's okay for a kid to see?
Yeah, I'm not doing anything like crazy. I'm not like going up to them and trying to touch them or anything. I'm just existing in what's comfortable for me.
You think it's okay for little boys and girls to see boobies?
I mean, they're gonna probably see them one day, so it really.
Do you think now's the time?
It is. It's not. I wouldn't know, but like, as long as you're not being weird about it and like shoving it in everybody's face that you're shirtless. If you're just,
I mean, people walk around shirtless all the time. I'm sorry. Look. I find tits sexy. I wonder if there's any evidence of that. I find tits sexy. I find them voluptuous. They are wonderful. However, I'm also curious, why do we treat them so sexually? Why do we treat them as a sex organ when they're not? It's just skin. Genitalia is a bit of a step too far, I think, but you know, if we're just talking about chests, a guy can walk out bare-chested, no problem. Girl can walk out not bare-chested, and we have issues with the amount of clothes that are or not on there. I don't know. That's always been weird to me. It's always been weird to me.
just walking around and you're shirtless. Nobody really cares. Everybody's going to have their opinion about it, whether they're a kid or not. And kids are going to stare, so do adults.
Lyndon the Unspokener, thank you very much for the follow.
So it doesn't really matter.
I'll say this as respectfully as possible. I do think it's wrong the way you're dressed with kids around. I think that is insensitive. And I'm not saying that in a disrespectful way.
I'm not saying it in a disrespectful way. However, I am disrespecting you. Just note that. Just note that.
That is respectful as possible. But I do think the way you're dressed.
Linda says, yo, name's Elenda. Or call me Phil. There's a juxtaposition between those two names.
Is inappropriate for children to be looking at.
I don't think so, because trying to demonize the naked body is really upsetting, because that makes kids feel very uncomfortable with being themselves when they're naked, or makes them feel that them being nude or in less clothing makes them feel like that they're objectively trying to get something like sex or something, when your naked body is your natural body, and that is how it is.
Say you had a child, I don't know if you do or not, so say you did, 10 years old, and he or she came to you and said, I want to have gender reassignment surgery. Would you be accepting to change your child's gender at 10?
This shouldn't be a hard answer. The answer for surgery at 10 should probably just be no. puberty blockers between the ages of 9 and 13, the ages when puberty happens, that's what is considered the recommended thing to do. Surgery itself, not really recommended at that age.
It would be a hard decision. I would be accepting, though.
You would be you could be accepting of the fact that your kid wants it, but you could also point out that maybe not the best thing for them at that age.
I mean, if that's what you want to do, if you're very confident in it, then yeah.
And if your child came to you underage, let's say age 12, and said, I don't feel like this gender, I want to be another, would you be accepting of a gender reassignment surgery?
Absolutely. Yeah, I feel like everybody, I don't care how old you are.
Even though the brain's not fully developed, it's still okay.
Brain's not fully developed until 25. It's not a good point. But I don't agree with the positions of like, hey, children, prepubescent children should be getting these. No, I don't agree with that. We've seen from the James Money situation that messing with that at that age, not a good idea. Puberty blockers, on the other hand, different story. Also, I want to go ahead and say, can we point out the actual... Like, I could argue with the people in the video here all day, and I could argue with him all day, but instead, also Money did it to an infant. Yes, the point is, Money did it to somebody who should have done it to. But the point is, what is he trying to do? If you interview 500 people at an event like this, and you grab 3 people from the event, 4 people from the event to get their takes, you get to select whether you take the unhinged takes or you take the well-reasoned, well-researched, well-positioned takes. And when you show that to an audience, you get to kind of comport what that audience does and believes and thinks based on what you show them. Nobody listens to stuff like this in a vacuum. There's always tons of other influence that happens as well. Said, oh no, not interview cherry picking. So like, I don't have evidence that he does interview cherry picking. I don't have that kind of evidence. What I do know is that this kind of content generally is spawned from interview cherry picking. Said, I like the bag of dick sign. The bag of dick sign is funny. Hence why I can't stand men on the street interviews. They're almost always deceptively edited. Yeah, like so early on in my channel, I actually kind of wanted to do man on the street interviews. If you look at people who are Patreon patrons, if you looked at like the earliest tiers I had for Patreon, I might even still have it in there because I'm lazy and I don't change my Patreon stuff as often as I should. Earliest time on my Patreon, I had it set up to where, like, hey, if I get to do this full time, I'll do man on the street interviews and I'll do all this other stuff. I ultimately ended up not doing any of that because the longer I go, the more I realize that that type of content is really deceptive and really not super great. Like, is it insightful? No, it's purely entertainment. But when it's entertainment masquerading as being insightful, then you get situations where people go, hey, people think this, people think that. Well, I don't give a fuck what random people on the street think about gender reassignment surgery. I care about what experts think on gender reassignment surgery. People who have made their lives and livelihood off of studying this and have came out the other end with an opinion based on their studies. Those are the opinions we should be listening to, not the opinions and argumentation of random people on the street during interviews. Random people on the street don't give a whole lot of valuable information, especially when the information they give you is curated through another person.
You know, I think at 12, 13 years old, you're right on that line of being able to make that decision for yourself, but I feel like if you've really thought about it and it's just something that you want to do, go for it.
Thank you for your time. Excuse me, guys. I'm doing a YouTube series talking about children in the...
Mike, what was that terrible attempt at editing out the kid's face? Look, okay, and I know it's going to defeat the purpose, but anybody can...
Thank you for your time.
Look.
Excuse me.
So, kid's face is not censored.
Hey guys, I'm
tries to censor kid's face.
doing a YouTube series.
Kid's face is not censored.
Talking about children in the LGBT...
Like... So also didn't censor the other kid's face? No, this feels like somebody trying to come off as responsible.
T, would you be open to talking about it?
Not today.
Not today? All right, I figured.
I figured? Like, guy, nobody owes you their time. Nobody wants to have a fucking interview ambush.
You can go. You're on private property.
This is private property? This is
private property.
McDonald's.
It's McDonald's and private property. You have permission from the ownership. So you can get off the property.
Will you, I will get off, but will you talk to me about, like, the children and what's going on here?
Nope.
You don't want to talk about it?
I won't have any discourse with someone like you. So.
I mean, this is honestly the right thing to do. You don't owe people discourse, especially out randomly on the street. And all things considered, let me go ahead and be honest with you. Most people out on the street are not trained in how to do an interview, both how to give one and how to respectively sit on the other end. Most people are not educated enough to give good answers to an interviewer who is coming prepped and ready to hit you with questions that you may not have answers to. I could do this same type of content. I could go out down to Atlanta, Georgia, and I could grab random sample data questions from people, and I could make a video like this to make it say whatever I wanted. Because I can deceptively edit it, I can choose who I grab, I can send whatever message I want. I not only get the privilege as the interviewer to select the questions beforehand that'll give me an advantage in these conflicts, but I also get the ability to post-hoc choose what footage goes out there. I'm sorry. Most people are not trained to do an interview like this. Most people are not prepared to deal with this type of guy. There's no shame in just ignoring him, walking away, or telling him to fuck off.
Why? We're going to get nowhere as a nation if you don't talk to me.
We're going to get nowhere as a nation if you don't talk to me. The nation moves on with or without your conversation.
You can leave.
I know I can leave. I'm choosing not to.
You need to leave. You're being told to leave. I'm an organizer of this event. With the owner's permission that's here, you're not allowed to be on this premises, so you need to leave.
Okay.
Now.
Excuse me? Would you be interested in taking an interview? I'm just talking to people about the LGBT.
Yes, queen. Yes, queen.
Yes, queen. Yeah, go off, man. Would you like to talk, sir?
No, actually, there's some LMPD right there waiting for you out there, okay?
Sweet.
So you stay here. You stay here.
Sweet.
Stay here.
Okay, I'm not going anywhere. It doesn't matter what my name is.
Okay, then great. Then you stay here.
Okay, I'm not going anywhere.
It doesn't matter what your name is, nor does it matter what your opinion is. Fuck off.
How's it going, officer?
Hey, how's it going, bud?
I'm doing all right.
Okay. What kind of issues they got going on?
No, see, I just wanted to talk, and anyways, they wouldn't talk. They told me to leave, so anyways, I did leave.
No, you didn't. You're still right here.
I don't know why you guys got called. I'm just trying to talk to people. I'm conducting interviews.
Manager, right? He's the manager.
It's all on footage, too. I mean, you can see it.
Are you the manager?
I'm the general manager of the store.
Okay, okay. Okay, well, he has that right to say,
that's fine.
you know.
That's fine.
Okay.
I'm just conducting interviews. I do a YouTube channel. I talk to people. Nothing's going on, nothing bad.
Yeah, that's fine. Just, you know, just keep it peaceful. Okay?
Yeah, of course. Shiver me timbers, man. You really got me.
No, get on the side.
You really got me. You really got me.
What is your point here?
The police even said it's his right to tell you to leave. And you're just like, oh, darn. I guess I won't leave. Jesus Christ, my guy.
No. Keep going. Excuse me, guys. Do you guys know where the child grooming section is?
What? Of course he's going to fucking do that. Okay, cool. Yep. People ask you to get off the property. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm just asking questions. Oh, by the way, I'm also calling everybody at the event a pedophile. That's what he's doing. No. This is no longer I'm just asking questions. This is now I'm accusing people here. No. My guy, do yourself a favor. Please stop. Do us all the favor of quitting.
You're not sure? Okay. So do you think it's important to bring more children into the community?
To let them be known that it's okay for like to let them know that there's a place they can be accepted for sure. Yeah.
Can I ask, are you can I ask what you identify as?
Yeah. I am a trans man.
Trans man?
Yeah.
So your pronouns are he, him?
Yeah, he, him, it, sir. Yeah.
And do you agree with the fact that sexually you are a woman?
Biologically, yes, but that doesn't really mean much to me because I still feel manly regardless of the body I was born in. I still feel more like I don't have to prove that I'm like this macho man by doing stereotypically masculine things. I still like dressing up like really femininely. I still like wearing heels. I still like wearing dresses, but that doesn't mean I'm not a man.
You mean like an average cis drag queen? Okay, that's fine.
And I still enjoy doing the things that everybody else does. I just don't care what other people think.
Are you going to go through any like transgender surgeries?
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. I do plan on getting top surgery or like, you know, some kind of breast removal and getting on like hormones. Yeah.
Well, thank you for your time.
No problem.
Are you a guy? Yes. Do you plan on doing the things? Yes. Cool.
Oh, this is great.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. One second. I'm trying to do an interview. Excuse me?
Are you black?
You look great. I identify as black. Would you like to be in an interview?
I identify as black. Jesus fucking Christ. Race and gender are not the same thing. They are both socially constructed, but that's like saying that race and money is the same thing. Different uses, different use cases. You're not black, I'm sorry.
Doing a series on the LGBT?
Sure.
Okay, sweet. So, what's your thoughts on children in the LGBT?
I think children should be allowed to be in LGBT because where I used to live, I was the only gay kid in the neighborhood, and all my friends were able to accept themselves easier because I was out and very queer.
If you raise kids going to pride festivals, I think they're going to be more gay. Do you agree?
No, that's not how neuroplasticity works. The brain and our attractions are not affected by whether or not we see the gay. That's not how the brain works. It's not how attraction works.
Well, I was raised in a church most of my life, and here I am. I'm not straight or a Christian even, and all my family is straight. I've had maybe one or two aunts that were part of the community, but everyone else still supported it but never talked about it until I was maybe 16, and I actually figured out that I liked girls and boys. So
your shirt says pansexual, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
You want to talk about that? What does pansexual mean to you?
Attracted to anyone.
it means liking anybody for just their personalities rather than who they are.
Does that include animals?
The model does not show it very well, but my head hurts. What is the fucking logic? Hey, I'm pansexual. I'm attracted to anyone. Okay, cool. Do you fuck dogs? No, what the fuck? How is that a logical end result of that? How is it 2022? How is it 2022 and we still have this idea? And how do people still make content on it? People are like, oh, that's right, pan means fucking dogs. How? How does that happen? How do we get there, and how have we stayed there?
Not really.
Not really, but maybe a little bit, because you said really. Maybe a little?
I love animals, but I would not be sexually attracted to them at all, no.
Do you think it's okay, though, if someone is?
If that's what they like, you can argue with it, but at the end of the day, it's their choice, and you can just let them be and just kind of ignore them.
If this doesn't make you lose...
All right, so bear in mind, she said that that's somebody's attraction. They are able to be attracted to animals. What she did not say is that it is okay to assault those animals. I can tell you that it's okay to like whoever you like. It's okay to like whatever you like. Because I'm not going to do a thought crime. But what I can say is that it's not okay to act on certain things for certain reasons. Like, it's okay to act on gay impulses because, you know, two consenting adults. It's not okay to act on an animal or to act on a child because they can't consent. Just as there are straight thoughts that you ought not have, like, oh boy, I wish I could do a rape right now. There are plenty of other thoughts that you totally can have. You should never act on. Takes no effort to think about that. But nobody's going to listen to the nuance of that when covering something like this. They're going to listen to, hey, she said it's okay to like animals, therefore she said it's okay to fuck animals. Like, no, that's not what she did. This is why man on the street interviews are so problematic to me. Because with a man on the street interview like this, you get to cut out any clarification that she might have said there, and you also get to grab people who, again, are not trained in this kind of rhetoric, are not trained in this kind of arena, and are going to just say shit that doesn't represent a group very well.
Faith in society. I don't know what will.
Said at least he didn't say kids. I mean, he did, though. When he did the whole, like, hey, everybody, where can I find the child grooming booth? Also, Draconic, thank you for hopping in. How's it going? You said, I finally caught a Suris stream. Yeah, oh no.
You asked if this would make kids gay. It's not. It's just educating them.
I'm asking if it's going to bring more people into the community and in turn make more children gay.
It doesn't do that. Scientifically, it doesn't do that.
Oh, no, it does not.
You don't think so? Make more children more likely to come out if they are gay.
Yeah, it shows that our community is accepting of people, and then also not only that, it also shows, like, it's the same as taking a kid to a straight wedding.
Not really.
Yes, it is exactly the same. It is exactly the same. Exposure to a type of sexuality is supposed to make somebody believe that they could be that sexuality more often, right? By that logic, by your logic, that should make a person more likely to be straight.
No, that's the norm. That's the norm.
That's the norm. Why is it the norm, though? Ask yourself that question. Take one more step further, please.
Like in these shows, you have people in different dress. You know, like, you know, for example, you're a good example of what, you know, some people wear, and, you know, I just don't think that's necessarily appropriate for children to see.
It's inappropriate for a child to see somebody who is fully clothed, but there are chains and there's a little bit of fishnet on the tummy. That is just awful. So terrible.
Especially when they're a younger age.
Well, then what about all the TV shows that people leave on TV? What about all of the actors at award shows that wear even more revealing stuff?
Yeah, it's a problem in society. We're in a very degenerate society. We got to fix that. And I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing with you.
Why are you asking? Why are you so pressed about the gays and asking them homophobic questions on our own day? Like, why did you come to Pride?
This is a public event, so I can.
It is, but also.
No. So why did you come here? Well, I'm allowed to come here. That's not what was asked, my guy. You were asked why. Why did you choose to come out to that event? If the question was, how did you manage to get here? Well, it's a public event. I'm allowed to be here. Okay, cool. That's how you managed it. The question was, why are you here? You're awful at listening.
You're also not making it very comfortable. This is my first part of it.
That's cool. But you consented to the interview. You could leave at any point. I'm not holding you guys back. You guys are just making excuses.
We're not. We said everything. We answered every question.
Okay, but you're trying to make me feel like I did something wrong, and I've done nothing wrong.
You've tried to make LGBTQ people sound like they are child groomers. I don't think I care.
Consented to the interview. Well, you could have left at any point, but you chose to continue to talk to me.
Because when you are... So, human beings, when we are engaged in conversation with somebody, we tend to be in that conversation until the conversation's conclusion. We, as human beings, have a predisposition to see things out to the end as often as we can. It's why we feel so bad when we don't finish projects, because we like seeing things to the end. It scratches an itch in our brain when we finish a task, when we complete a thing. Saying... for instance, being an abusive person in a relationship cannot be excused with, well, you consented to the relationship, you can leave anytime you want. That doesn't answer why are you being an abusive person in a relationship. Somebody else's ability to leave does not magically excuse the rhetoric and tactics you are using in literally any scenario. So the fact that we, as human beings, are more likely to try to conclude this conversation, and you, as a person, do not get to hide behind the excuse that, well, you consented to this. I'm sorry, no. You need to account for your behavior, and you need to also recognize that there is a psychological trick that is happening here that causes people to engage more. Why did you go back to that Twitter argument? Why did you go back to that YouTube comment thread? Why did you finish that video? Why did you finish that season of a show you didn't like? Because we like completing things as humans. It's a thing we do.
You're bigoted in a place of acceptance.
Okay, so right here it says free mom hugs. I'm gonna ask her if I can have a hug. Excuse me, ma'am, can I have a mom hug? Free mom hugs right there. Do you have anything to tell the YouTube channel?
Blacks for Trump.
Will you still hug me?
I did hug you.
But would you do it again?
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Because you're human.
Thank you, thank you. You have a good day. She was a nice gay woman.
Ask, what is this on?
My YouTube channel.
Can I get your
Yeah, of
YouTube
course.
channel?
It's Bo, B-O.
Okay, it's just getting that there.
B-I-T-T-L-E. So if your kid grew up and it was like, you know, I want to be heterosexual, would you be okay with that? Or are you kind of hoping for homosexuality?
So was there a point? Was there supposed to be a point to the end there? You had the ability to choose anything to end that video on. Okay. That was certainly a that was a thing that we experienced, you and I, you know, together. We suffered through that as a group. And it just we're here. We're here. Did it just end abruptly? Yep, it ended abruptly. That was a thing. That was a thing that happened. Anywho, I'm not sure what we're supposed to do after that. So I've never made a YouTube video in my damn life, and I could have ended a video better. Yeah, it's weird, right? It's almost like there's ways to do this that we generally know about. But anyways, let me know what you guys thought in the comment section below. I'm spent. As always, everyone, subscribe if you haven't already, hit the bell notification icon, all that other fun stuff. Insert end video tagline here.